Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to the channel. HappyCattyCrypto here, and I hope you've all had a lovely bank holiday Easter weekend wherever you are. I just hope you've managed to get out, touch some grass, get some sunlight, catch some rays, and just get away from the noise inside crypto. It's nice sometimes just to do that. I must admit, I've enjoyed my weekend here, but it's Monday. We're getting back into things. And I mean, we have got less than 20 days until BTC halves. What a time to be involved in crypto. I mean, it couldn't get any better than this. Well, unless you're part of our Patreon group. Now, just before we get into this, the people in my Patreon group have recently just banked in on a 1000% gain. I mean, guys, alongside that 10,000 USTC and 1 million LUNC giveaway every month, the gains you can make in there are just awesome. So let's jump straight into this one. Last month, Binance did burn 2.2 billion Lunar Classic, and this was a substantial amount. I mean, the burns have been getting bigger each time, and the obvious reason behind this is just, as you can hear, there's a magpie at my window, and it does this every time I record a video. Shoo! Magpie, shoo. Side tandem, don't worry about the magpie. Now, the 20th burn batch, I was explaining about the volume. It was kicking up. There's a lot of stuff going on, and people are starting to realize if you trade more LUNC on Binance, you're going to help burn more LUNC overall. And we should all aim to really be doing as much as we can on Binance. The fees are generous, to say the least. It's feasible and it's doable. We should all try and do that where and whenever we can. So let's move over to the burn, and 4.1 billion LUNC has just been destroyed. This is a serious amount of coinage, and Binance's obsession with LUNC is strong. And honestly, they burn at different times. So sometimes they burn first thing in the morning, sometimes they burn around midday, and sometimes they burn later during the day. And I was sat there thinking to myself, it's April Fool's today. Please don't play an April Fool's joke on us. And thank God the burn came in. This is really good, but sometimes I do get worried, and I guess you guys do too. It's totally normal to worry that they would take these burns away. Now, I think there's many things we would need to do in order for them to actually concede to doing this, because the public backlash of removing these burns would just be too great at this point. Now, I do think there is a plan there. There's something bigger going on, and I don't think anybody can really fathom the situation in itself there, if that makes sense. We can come up with all sorts of different conspiracies and tinfoil hat theories. We can follow the money, but we're not going to know what they're going to be up to really until they do it. But they have a substantial investment in LUNC alongside a vested interest, and that's what makes a huge difference. There is no blockchain that they are burning for other than BNB. This is huge. Okay, the crypto space is massive, and many coins have come, many coins have gone, but LUNC seems to be in their limelight as usual. Now, I've been saying about this court case, lots of different things are going to be coming out during this court case, and honestly, it's just bullish for us. No matter what happens, it's bullish. If Luna collapses, it's bullish. It doesn't matter. We've got all of our own stuff. We've got all of our own infrastructure. We are fine. So it is being revealed that Jump was more or less put together to save the USTC peg back in May 2021. And this is really important because DK said it was a self-healing process. It wasn't. It was specifically them doing the Jump trading sort of mysterious side of that was leading to that. So there's all sorts of different things really going on in Lunar Classic. We've got analysts saying they're predicting a further 270% upside, and this kind of lands with my price target of 35,000 points per coin. I'm looking between that 30,000 and 40,000 points per coin as we move into the halving event. We've been lagging a serious amount, and honestly, it's just all of the hole drillers. Let's call them the hole drillers for now, just to stay friendly, so to speak. But there's plenty of people drilling holes in the boat, and it's not really helping the blockchain. In fact, it gives a bad kind of dark side to things, and that in itself is not going to help anyone. We can't ignore it. It is there. But honestly, there are a lot of upsides going on. Something I'm really enjoying at the moment is actually the quietness in LUNC. Not loads of drama of people kind of leading into the narrative and stuff like that. As much as we're kind of just getting bug updates, they don't really have a vision and they're not really that deeply tied into the blockchain. It's just a payment for them. It kind of leaves us in a direction where for nearly 2 years now, and it's coming up 2 years nearly now, we've kind of been trying to do everything and not doing anything, if that makes sense. Like, we spread ourselves out so thin. We want to repeg, we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to introduce this, and we never kind of really get anything done, if that makes sense. It keeps falling back to third-party people like myself to kind of develop these apps you need, and DCM and all of the different things, the auto compounding system, all of those sort of things that have really helped you guys on your journey. So let's move over to Commonwealth, and really there's not a lot going on. There's good ideas, there's bad ideas, and really no idea is a bad idea. I wouldn't say everything's got a time, place, and placement, but there's just not a great deal of people with visions of where this wants to go. And something that really hit me recently was the fact that the vision plan at the moment is my original idea of getting access to Alliance, labor market, and all of those different things. And it just seems there's no originality. There's no one really coming up with new ideas. It's more just plagiarism. And I know it's kind of like me saying, well, yeah, I come up with this. It's not about that, right? What it's about here in LUNC is people just coming up with new ideas. And a USTC repeg proposal contest, I mean, come on. I think everybody needs to concede to the idea that USTC is dead. We are a blockchain that just for 2 years have just kind of been in perpetual motion, and people think that we could run a algorithmic stablecoin in a highly competitive environment, as to which it was attacked and shut down when it was one of the biggest and strongest groups of people in DeFi behind it. And I think we just need to give ourselves a slap in the face, drink the water, wake up, don't drink the Kool-Aid anymore, and kind of just go, let's let it go. I mean, they're already burning tons of USTC. You guys can see it's not doing a supply shock. It's not really doing what it should be doing. And there's just not really anybody coming in with good ideas. And anybody that does come in with an idea, it just leads to you guys giving them a payment and them going, well, we can't really do it. Or we're just talking to CEXs. And no one really wants that. So let's move over to the price. It's a really interesting time now. I was looking at technical analysis. They were saying there is a bullish flag pennant playing out. I'm not really buying into this. The chart is a little bit weird because this to me looks like a cup and handle that's kind of tried to break out, been rejected, and now it's currently treading sideways. And what we could see is that continuation breakout of that possible 270% that analyst is saying, because we've had a cup and handle here previously. It was a pretty big one lower down, and we had a decent breakout. That's what we're looking for again. We're looking for a decent breakout. Now, on this blockchain, we've got so many validators, right? But the validators you would rather see is like Metagloria having a validator, and Lunar Burning Nights having a validator, and Exodus having a validator, and actual projects that are actually building on this chain and actually going to launch a project that is going to provide a lot of utility. That's when it makes sense. It's just there's so many paper cut validators, right? And I get it, we've all got to start somewhere, but eventually people have got to start giving back to the system, because otherwise we're just going to end up in this weird perpetual loop of just going up a bit and going down a bit and going up a bit and going down a bit, going up a bit, going down a bit. And we're very similar to XRP. If you were to do a comparison of XRP price to LUNC price right now, they're pretty similar. They move very similar to each other, and it's not the kind of coin you want to be moving similarly to. Now, DK, what's going on with DK? And we are doing a bit of a broader update here. It's still kind of in the wind. No one knows if he's going to South Korea or if he's going to the United States. But what I do know is his legal team have just once again appealed the extradition to South Korea. So the likelihood is he'll appeal that, it'll get approved, and then America will come in for another bite, and his legal team will just keep back and forth and until he runs out of money. And I think that's what it's going to come down to. And sadly, the guy's got access to a ledger. He's going to have a lot of funds. So once again, guys, if you are trading, there's so many platforms that require KYC now. Margex requires no KYC. You've got copy, leverage, spot. You've got all of those different things available there. Links to that in the description. Use and utilize that where and whenever possible. It's good to spread yourself out and really reduce your risk where and whenever possible. Now, what I want to do is quickly look at the history just at the end here of the overview of the Binance burns, because like I've been saying, they've been getting bigger. Lunc Metrics is a really good site to cover burning in detail, but as we can see, these burns have been getting bigger over time. Sometimes they drop, sometimes they go down. You've got 1 billion here, 2.6, 1.4, 1 billion. But I think this is the biggest burn so far historically for them. So like I was saying at the beginning of the video, right? Trading LUNC on Binance is what's going to drive these burns to the next level. What would really help is getting LUNC relisted in the United States. And I think a way for us to do this, and it would be so bullish if we got relisted in the United States, separate ourselves from TFL in a sense where we're not legally tied to them, because that's where the issue comes in with that coin. There's so many other coins that are traded in the United States on Binance that are way worse than LUNC, have got a way worse ecosystem, but they're traded on there. So I think it's all food for thought. I think it's stuff for us to take in. And something else for everybody to understand at the moment is there's not a lot going on in LUNC, and I can't just whip content up. I'm going to produce and I'm going to show you guys what's current, what's going on, and what's relevant, and really not bog you down with stuff. One thing I'm working on is possibly happening tonight. It should happen tonight, is a live stream podcast with myself and a developer going over this double noding issue, going over a kind of way to go at this in a mature sense where everybody can meet in the middle and we can all walk away from this with an understanding and some kind of code of conduct for this blockchain. It's going to be an interesting podcast, guys. So tune in, keep an eye out for that. Drop a like, drop a comment, drop a sub if you're new here. That's really going to help us out. It's going to help you out. Hit the notifications bell to stay up to date with all of our different stuff. Something that's really interesting, which has been happening a lot recently, is every person who signs up for the algorithm then comes back to me and goes, dude, I just grabbed the year subscription. It's insane. I've made this much. And now the indicator's paid for a year. This is insane. Everything's profit. And it's great to hear these things. It's nice to have tools that work, that you can rely on, that you can utilize, that are not emotionally tied to things. And they're giving you clear indications of when to get in and when to get out. Links to everything in the description. Guys, enjoy the Binance burn. Enjoy the Easter weekend. Stay safe, stay humble, stay aware. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.